Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something we all face, something that's real, something that can make or break us, our past. The truth is, some of us have come from places we're not proud of. We've made mistakes, we've stumbled, we've fallen down. Some of us have lived lives full of hardship, pain, and loss, and some of us feel like our past will always be a weight we carry, a chain that holds us back. But let me tell you something. I'm here to tell you that the worst past doesn't have to define the best future. You see, I'm no different than anyone else. I've had my struggles. I've faced my challenges. There were times when I didn't know if I could make it, but I did. And that's what matters. The struggle you're going through today is not where you'll end up. It's just part of the journey. It's the lessons learned, the strength gained, the resilience built. A difficult past doesn't define who you are or dictate what your future will be. It's how you choose to rise above that past that truly matters. Adversity, hardship, and challenges can seem overwhelming in the moment, but they are often the very things that build the character, resilience, and strength necessary for success in life. People who have faced hardship are often the ones with the deepest understanding of life's complexities, the ones who know the value of perseverance, and the ones who can push through when things seem impossible. The beauty of resilience lies in its ability to shape us into stronger, more capable individuals, and it is this strength that will ultimately propel us toward a better future. Resilience is not something we're born with, but something we develop through experience. It's tested when life knocks us down, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, and when it seems like everything we've worked for might slip through our fingers. When we face these kinds of challenges, we have two choices. We can allow ourselves to be defined by our circumstances, or we can rise above them and use them as a springboard for something greater. Resilience isn't about never feeling pain or never experiencing failure. It's about how you respond when things get tough. It's about getting back up every time life knocks you down, even when it feels like you've reached your limit. Think about the times in your life when you faced adversity. Perhaps you were told you weren't good enough, or perhaps you faced a personal loss that shook your world. Maybe you've dealt with failure, rejection, or betrayal. These experiences, as painful as they are, shape us. They teach us things that success never can. When you've gone through hardship, you learn how to cope, how to endure, and most importantly, how to keep going when all you want to do is stop. Every time you push through a tough situation, you build a muscle, a resilience muscle, that makes you stronger and more capable of handling whatever comes next. Adversity teaches us empathy and perspective. When life has been difficult, you begin to understand others in a deeper way. You learn that everyone has their battles, even if you can't always see them. This empathy creates connections with others, and it also brings a sense of humility and gratitude for what we have. People who have struggled tend to appreciate the little things more. They understand the value of health, family, friendship, and opportunity. In a world where we often take these things for granted, those who have faced the hardest trials know how precious they are. This is one of the greatest gifts that adversity can give us, a deeper appreciation for life itself. The hardest moments in life often lead to the most profound transformations. The pain you go through becomes the catalyst for your growth. It's through those experiences that you discover the strength you never knew you had. The woman who overcame abuse and found her voice. The man who lost everything but rebuilt from scratch. The person who experienced failure after failure but never gave up. These are the kinds of people who emerge from their struggles with a renewed sense of purpose and a deep understanding of their own power. They may have walked through fire, but they did not come out broken. They came out stronger, more determined, and more equipped to take on whatever challenges lie ahead. Adversity also teaches you to be adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and we don't always get to choose our circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. The ability to adapt to changing circumstances, to pivot when things don't go as planned, and to keep moving forward despite setbacks is one of the hallmarks of resilient people. They understand that life will throw curveballs, but they also know that they are capable of handling whatever comes their way. It's not about avoiding struggle, it's about learning how to navigate it. learning how to turn setbacks into opportunities, and finding ways to keep going when the road gets tough. There is also a certain beauty in the process of becoming. It's not the easy moments that define us, but the moments when we rise above our circumstances and become something greater. The person who has been through the most is often the one who has the most to give. Resilient people are often the ones who are most capable of inspiring others, of lifting others up when they're struggling, and of showing others that they too can make it through tough times. They carry with them the wisdom that comes from surviving hardship, and they use that wisdom to help others find their way. And it's not just about enduring hardship for the sake of endurance. It's about growing from it, about learning from every experience and using it as a stepping stone toward a better future. Each time you face adversity and rise above it, you're not just surviving, you're evolving. You're learning how to be a better version of yourself, more equipped to handle the next challenge, and more prepared to achieve the success you desire. In this sense, adversity isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace, because it's in those moments that we truly discover who we are and what we're capable of. The past is a powerful force in shaping who we are, but it does not have to control our future. Our mistakes, failures, and challenges are not the final chapters of our lives. They are merely pages in a story that is still being written. One of the most important things to understand about life is that our past does not define us. It's true that we cannot change the things we've gone through or undo the mistakes we've made, but that doesn't mean we have to be defined by them. Instead, we can use our past as a teacher, a guide that helps us move forward with greater wisdom and clarity. What we've been through may have shaped us, but it is not what limits us. It's how we respond to our past that shapes our future, and this response is what allows us to take control of our destiny. The first thing to realize is that our past does not have to be a life sentence. Too often we get trapped in the idea that the mistakes we've made, or the struggles we've faced, will forever define who we are. Maybe you've made choices that you regret, or lived through experiences that left scars. It's easy to think that those things will follow you forever, and sometimes it may feel like they will, but the reality is they don't have to. They may have been part of your journey, but they are not the end of it. Your future is not predetermined by the mistakes of your past unless you allow it to be. You have the ability to break free from the shackles of your history and create a new story for yourself. That's the beauty of life. You are not bound by the past unless you choose to remain there. The key to moving beyond our past is understanding that we are not our mistakes, we are not our failures, nor are we the labels that others, or even ourselves, may place on us based on past events. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that our mistakes define us, but this is not true. Everyone has a past. Everyone has faced adversity, made poor decisions, or encountered moments of weakness. But those moments do not define the totality of our character or our potential. It's important to separate your identity from your actions and circumstances. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the sum of what you do next, how you move forward, and what you learn from those past experiences. If you take the lessons from your past and apply them, you're not stuck in the same place. You're growing, evolving, and ultimately shaping a better future. Sometimes the hardest part of moving on from the past is forgiving yourself. Guilt, shame, and regret can hold us hostage, preventing us from stepping into a better future, but self-forgiveness is key to unlocking that door. Everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect. And while it's important to acknowledge and learn from our mistakes, it's equally important to let them go. Holding on to the weight of past errors only keeps us stuck in a cycle of self-punishment. To truly move forward, we must be able to release ourselves from the burden of guilt and give ourselves permission to start anew. This doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending the past didn't happen. It means accepting that we are human, we fall and we rise again. Self-forgiveness is the first step toward creating a future that is free from the shadows of the past. In addition to reframing and forgiving ourselves, it's also important to recognize that our future is in our hands. The decisions we make today are what shape our tomorrow. Our past may have had a significant influence on us, but the present moment is the only one we have control over. The choices we make now, what we believe about ourselves, how we treat others, the actions we take toward our goals, are the ones that ultimately determine the course of our lives. It's easy to get caught up in the belief that the past has so much weight that it will forever hold us back. But this is an illusion. We have the power to choose who we want to be, what we want to achieve, and how we want to live. We can take the lessons from the past and apply them to our present, but we can also make a conscious decision to move forward with intention and purpose. One of the most freeing realizations we can have is that our past is not set in stone. We don't have to carry it with us like a permanent scar. We can reshape our future, starting from right now. The choices we make today can undo the patterns of the past, redefine our self-worth, and create a future that reflects our true potential. It doesn't matter where you've been or what you've done. What matters is where you're going. The future belongs to those who are willing to learn, adapt, and create a new path for themselves, regardless of where they've come from. The past, then, is not something to fear. It is something to learn from, but not something that should ever hold us back. It's a stepping stone on the way to a brighter future. We all have the ability to rewrite our stories, to change the trajectory of our lives, and to create something greater than what we have known. The future is filled with possibilities, and with every step we take, we move closer to a version of ourselves that is defined not by our mistakes, but by our resilience, our growth, and our ability to keep moving forward. The power is in your hands, and with each new day, you have the opportunity to create a future that is truly your own. Adversity often serves as the most profound catalyst for transformation. It is through the most challenging moments in our lives that we are forced to confront who we truly are, what we are capable of, and what we are willing to endure. Struggle, while difficult and painful, often leads to the most significant personal growth. When faced with setbacks, hardships, or loss, many people find the strength they never knew they had. It is during these difficult times that people not only survive but evolve. The process of transformation begins when we are pushed to our limits, when we are tested beyond what we think is possible. The key to this transformation is not simply surviving the struggle, but emerging from it stronger, wiser, and more capable of navigating the challenges of life. One of the most important things to understand is that transformation often doesn't happen in the absence of struggle. We are shaped by our experiences, particularly the difficult ones. It is through adversity that we are stripped of our comfort zones, forced to reevaluate our priorities, and pushed to tap into our inner reserves of strength. Many times, when life is easy, we don't grow. We are not compelled to stretch beyond what we already know. But when we face hardship, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a financial setback, a career failure, or personal tragedy, we are forced to step into the unknown and figure out how to move forward. This is where true growth takes place. When we experience adversity, we often learn new skills, gain new perspectives, and develop qualities like resilience, patience, and perseverance. These are the qualities that, when nurtured, can lead us to success. Resilience, for example, is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it is a direct result of the challenges we face. Every time we rise after a fall, we strengthen our ability to persevere. Patience teaches us to wait for the right moment, and to understand that success doesn't come overnight. Perseverance encourages us to keep going even when the path is unclear, and the obstacles are numerous. These qualities are born from hardship, and they are the same qualities that will carry us through future challenges. The pain we experience through adversity often leads to greater empathy and compassion. When we face struggles ourselves, we begin to understand the struggles of others in a much deeper way. We become less judgmental and more open-hearted, because we recognize that everyone has their own battles to fight. This empathy not only improves our relationships with others, but it also gives us a greater sense of connection to the world around us. Through adversity, we learn to appreciate the strength of others who are also navigating their own difficulties. We become better listeners, better supporters, and better friends. We understand, at a much deeper level, that we are all in this together, and that our shared experiences of struggle are what make us human. In addition to developing empathy, adversity teaches us the value of persistence. Success doesn't always come easy. There will be obstacles, failures and setbacks along the way, but it's not those failures that determine whether we succeed in life. What matters is how we respond to those failures. Do we give up? Do we allow ourselves to be defeated? Or do we keep moving forward, learning from our mistakes, and finding new ways to achieve our goals? It is through adversity that we learn the importance of persistence, and it is persistence that allows us to reach our full potential. Every time we overcome an obstacle, we are one step closer to achieving our dreams, even if the journey is longer than we anticipated. Adversity also teaches us the importance of self-reliance. When things get tough, we often have to rely on ourselves more than we ever have before. External sources of support may not always be available, and in these moments, we are forced to look inward. We discover strengths and abilities we didn't know we possessed. We learn to trust ourselves, to believe in our own resourcefulness, and to find solutions to problems on our own. This self-reliance is incredibly empowering. It reminds us that no matter what happens, we have the ability to navigate life's challenges and find a way forward. This sense of inner strength is essential, because life will not always be kind, and there will be moments when it feels like we're all alone. But in those moments, we will realize that we are never truly alone. We have ourselves. The process of transformation through adversity is not easy, and it often requires great courage. It's easy to give in to despair when life gets difficult, to throw in the towel and accept defeat, but it takes a special kind of strength to face adversity head-on and continue fighting for a better future. This strength doesn't come from avoiding difficulty or running away from challenges. It comes from facing them and choosing to rise above them. It comes from the determination to keep moving forward, even when the way is unclear. It comes from the belief that no matter how tough things get, we have the ability to transform ourselves and our lives for the better. It's also important to remember that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that takes time. When we are in the midst of adversity, it can be hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to the person we are meant to become. We may not see immediate results, but if we continue to push through, we will eventually begin to see the fruits of our labor. The struggles we face today will lay the foundation for a stronger, more resilient tomorrow. In the end, adversity doesn't just help us survive, it helps us thrive. The idea that we control our future is both empowering and liberating. Too often, we find ourselves trapped by the idea that our circumstances, our past, or the people around us dictate what will happen next in our lives. The truth, however, is that the power to shape our future lies within us, in the choices we make every single day. Our pasts, while they play an important role in our development, do not control our futures. It is the decisions we make in the present that have the greatest impact on where we are going. The future is not something that just happens to us. It is something we create through the actions, choices, and mindset we adopt today. One of the most critical aspects of controlling your future is the ability to recognize that you have agency over your own life. While you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, life is unpredictable, and challenges will inevitably arise. You do have control over how you respond to these circumstances. Your responses, your attitude, and your actions in any given situation are yours to decide. The way you approach the challenges that come your way can either move you forward or hold you back. If you let external forces control your actions, you will find yourself at the mercy of life's whims, unable to create the future you desire. However, if you take responsibility for your own decisions and actively shape your actions, you empower yourself to take the lead in your own life. This concept of personal responsibility is key to understanding how we control our futures. Life is a series of choices, and every choice we make has a ripple effect. It might be something as small as deciding to wake up early and make a healthy breakfast, or something as significant as choosing a career path or a life partner. Each decision, no matter how seemingly insignificant at the time, has the potential to impact your future in profound ways. By recognizing that every decision you make is an opportunity to steer your life in the direction you want to go, you begin to see the power you have over your own destiny. This realization gives you the freedom to make conscious choices that align with your goals and values,
which ultimately leads to the future you want to create. Another important part of controlling your future is understanding that your mindset plays a pivotal role in shaping your reality. The way you think about your life, your possibilities, and your goals will directly impact your ability to achieve them. A positive, growth-oriented mindset allows you to see opportunities where others might only see obstacles. If you approach life with the belief that you can grow, change, and improve, you will be more likely to take the necessary actions to achieve your goals. On the other hand, if you adopt a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities and circumstances are unchangeable, you may limit your potential and miss out on opportunities that could lead to a brighter future. The mindset you choose to adopt is a powerful tool that determines how you engage with the world and how you overcome challenges. By developing a mindset of possibility, you unlock your potential to create the future you desire. Along with mindset, your habits are another powerful way you shape your future. The things you do every day may seem routine, but these actions compound over time to create the life you lead. If you consistently make healthy choices, work towards your goals, and stay disciplined, you are building the foundation for a better future. Conversely, if you allow negative habits, such as procrastination, unhealthy eating, or self-doubt, to dictate your daily actions, you will find that your future reflects these habits. The good news is that habits can be changed. You have the ability to start creating new positive habits that will help you move closer to your ideal future. Whether it's exercising regularly, learning new skills, or taking the time to invest in your personal growth, small changes in your daily routines can have a huge impact on your long-term success. An essential part of taking control of your future is setting clear goals. It's impossible to create a meaningful future without a vision of what you want to achieve. When you have a clear sense of purpose and direction, you are more likely to take the necessary steps to move toward that vision. Setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals gives you a roadmap to follow and helps keep you focused on what matters most. Without goals, it's easy to get distracted or lose motivation, but when you have a plan in place, you are more likely to stay on track and make progress. The act of setting and achieving goals is empowering because it reinforces the belief that you have the power to shape your own destiny. It is a reminder that you are in control and that your future is not left to chance. Even more than just setting goals, you must also be willing to adapt and be flexible in your approach. Life doesn't always unfold as we expect, and sometimes the path we set out on will require adjustments. Being adaptable means being open to change, learning from setbacks, and pivoting when necessary. The future you create may not always look exactly like the one you envisioned, but as long as you stay focused on your core values and goals, you can adjust your strategy to stay on course. Flexibility allows you to navigate obstacles and unexpected twists in a way that keeps you moving forward. This ability to adapt is crucial for long-term success because the future is never a straight line. It's full of detours, challenges, and changes. But when you control your mindset, habits, and actions, you are prepared for anything that comes your way. Mindset, habits, and goals. Another important aspect of controlling your future is the people you surround yourself with. The relationships you cultivate can significantly influence the direction your life takes. The people who support, encourage, and challenge you to be your best can help you stay on track toward your goals. Conversely, those who bring negativity, doubt, or toxicity into your life can steer you away from your purpose. Being mindful of the relationships you invest in is an important part of creating a future that aligns with your values and aspirations. By surrounding yourself with people who inspire and motivate you, you increase your chances of success and growth.